Good morning again. Um, it's another day. It's another 24 hours, 48 hours has passed, 72 hours has passed. Um, I'm taking my walk this morning, and I want to continue my conversation about community. If you see my previous video, uh, I noticed I'm not getting a lot of hits. People are not sharing the video, and that's fine. I guess these videos are just for me. Um, yeah, that's fine. I don't expect to go viral about my feelings and things that I'm going through as a, you know, Black American or whatever. But I will say this though. I will say this. Um, when we talk about community, in fact, I'm gonna go this way. I want to walk by the water. When we talk about certain things like community, and if you see my previous video, I touched on the topic about what community is and how we should look at it. And I'm not gonna get into the details about that, but I will recap a little bit. So if you look at your family, your friends, and the people that you know, that's including business owners and things like that. Look at that like your nucleus, right? Look at that. That's your circle. Okay. Everybody has a circle, right? A circle of people that you trust or whatever. And then you have people that surround that are around your nucleus. Okay. That's the community I'm talking about. So let's get into it. And if you want to apply that to your inner circle, that's fine too. It just depends on how you view things and how you know, um, bring people into certain circles. Okay. So, um, what I'm gonna say is basically like this. Some of the things that's kind of really been bothering me. Um, Me personally, like I don't know. I guess I really don't know where to start, but I'm gonna start somewhere and hopefully it just ends in the same place or ends in the right place. Uh, as a black man in America, um, and all the extra stuff that we've had to go through, I'm not gonna get into all that because it's just a sob story, but it's the truth. But I really want to get into the negative things about being a black man in America. So I'm gonna get into some other things that may still be negative, but I don't want to get into those things. And so, one of the things that I want to talk about is, like I said, community. And I'm not even asking why. This is just me venting at this point on this one. But and if I do ask why, it's just theoretically why. It's not really. I'm not looking for an answer. I'm not even looking at an answer from anybody. The only answers I'm looking for is from God at the end of the day. So, like I said, these videos are more or less like kind of like my own personal videos of my own time here on Earth. But anyway, um, when I ask my community for help or support, um, whether if it's in the form of monetary value or support with non-monetary value, um, why is it that the community feels like a person is begging or they're a bum when they need help? And this is my problem that I have with people. Um, like I said, your community, right? Um, and this is where really kind of like I understand it, but I don't. But if I me personally, I do have a 501 or not 501c3, but I do have a nonprofit. It's an A1, but I do have a nonprofit. I so me asking for donations, I did that in the degree of the fact that I'm a nonprofit and I have the ability to take in donations to help others. Okay, but I try not to tell all my business and tell everybody all of the things that I'm doing. But clearly, if things fail, then there's no point even fucking keeping this shit a secret, right? So as a nonprofit, taking in donations to help other people, that's bum shit, from what I've been told. Directly to my face by several fucking people within my own nucleus, not even outside my community, but within my own nucleus. Um, and then other people outside in my community as well. Um, Same thing, both sides, nucleus and the community, have voiced their opinions about um, taking donations and asking for help to overall, I'm gonna call it what it is, get some land so people can express themselves the way they want. Is was wasn't is the goal. Um, and so what bothers me the most is that I have great ideas. I have these things that I can, put on paper and turn these things into reality. But really, this is where it gets me: is the government has funding for my ideas and things they have up there. And if I go to the government and apply for grants and I apply for, loans and I apply for all these different services that they can help the ideas and things to come together. The problem that I see that comes in as a Black American or in the Black community, and and within my own nucleus, is that that's considered being a sellout or a traitor or whatever. I don't know, a coonin. Uh, you're not trustworthy basically at that point because certain individuals feel like you work for the government now just because you're receiving grant funding to do stuff like simply like clean up the water that's right here. I don't know if y'all see that. You see that water that's right there, all that nasty stuff. So if I ask for funding to help do something like that, or ask to build a garden, or ask to do something like that from my own nucleus and my own community, is bum shit. And that's the shit I don't understand. So, oh yeah, I did shave, by the way. My children, my children, they're like, Dad, they don't really like me when I got a full beard, and they call me old. So it doesn't bother me, but it bothers me. It only bothers me because they're like, oh, Dad, you look old, and they feel uncomfortable. I don't really care. So I try to do it for my children. I stay clean shaven, keep it knocked down. But yeah, so for the most part, it's just funny. Like I can get funding for housing, I can get loans for land, I can get all these different grants and things, and then you know, um, no one will show up because of those reasons that they feel like, oh, it's government aided, it's government funded, blah 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 blah. So then as a person that has ideas and creativity and things like that, if my community and my nucleus is not going to support me in the efforts and things that I want to do, especially when I'm being very voiceful about what I'm capable of doing, and then also what I'm excited about doing, that I may not be too completely compatible to capable of doing, but that requires me to, get help and hire scientists or hire engineers or whatever it may be, salespeople, whatever it may be, and it's just shocking to see, you know, um, you know, when I decided to do business as Pacino Casey and Associates, like a really, really long time ago. I had a dream and I had a vision, and honestly, I hit that vision in that dream, for the most part. Is that one was getting out of my current situation, which was being in a place I didn't really want to be, which that's part of my success, and then advancing to a place where I did want to be, which was on the rooftop of San Francisco, and uh, meeting my wife and having children and having starting that whole process again. I a total of 5 children, and it's exciting. And so, other than that, building a family and then realizing that there's just bigger issues than, uh, and I would say bigger issues than myself and me personally. I've I was raised in a way where it's like, your environment, your environment. If your environment's not, you know, I'm not gonna say it don't have to be perfect, but it shouldn't be, messy. And so within that, keeping your environment clean and things like that helps your mental. And so I see our environment messed up, and I would have used my talents to put forth in environmental things, but it was just like, to do environmental stuff it's very expensive. And one things I'm realizing is this: when I'm seeing stuff online, I was watching a seminar the other day about um, marketing and things like that, and the guy was saying, don't ever model your business after no one else's model, like business model, because it's a waste of time. And to model your business behind somebody else's business model is a waste of time, because of the fact that you don't know the challenges they've been through, and you don't know the hurdles the things they've had to overcome. And so what it comes down to is that, like, when I say as far as a business model and trying to project the same thing from somebody else, so when I see that as Black Americans, we don't even have the access to a lot of this stuff that other people outside of the Black community has. And part of that is like access to raw materials and equipment and facilities. And so and if we do have access to these things, it's always like to the point where we're not actually being able to function and do things and learn things the way we want. It's always someone else's input, and that's what I'm noticing. And so usually that comes with government funding. And so yeah, that's what I see. So other than that, this is my little 10-minute video. Like I said, I'll try to keep most of my videos down to 15 minutes. No more than 25. I really feel like I need to say something more than that. So today I actually kept it under 11 minutes for my video today. So I'm actually kind of happy about that because I really didn't want to go too in depth about, you know, those things. And so I just needed to get that off my chest. So thank you for viewing. I appreciate you guys. Please like, share, comment if you like. Other than that, it's 2025, and I guess the latest update I found out last night. I'm always finding out things late for some reason. I guess because part of it I be trying to just keep my peace. But yeah, I guess aliens are coming. I don't know. I don't know. I guess aliens are coming in November, somewhere around November 1st or December of 2025. So I don't know. Whoever sees this video, you might want to go look it up. I mean, I believe in extraterrestrial life, but I just don't believe in the panic part of it. Like, oh, they're coming and they're gonna do this and that. If they're gonna do something, let them do it, and then we can really do about it. Um, and so yeah, other than that, some people are panicking about aliens that are coming from outer space. Meanwhile on Earth, people are getting deported from other spaces, and it's ridiculous right now. And honestly, I feel like I hate to say it, but as a person being here or whatever this is in this place they call Earth, I'm fucking embarrassed, yo. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed bad because it's like I'm embarrassed for humanity at the end of the day because we've been visited from aliens before, they've said, but this particular group that's coming, they say, is they're worried, and so I'm not worried because I mean, ain't I can't resist it anyway. I can't even resist shit down here. So other than that, I just say, to the aliens that are coming, I don't know what they're coming for. I have no clue. I don't know if they're coming. The news, Fox 10 is where I found the information on. You can look it up. I think it came out like 2 or 3 days ago or something like that. And Fox 10 talked about it. And the guy's from Harvard, and he's like, one of those scientist people. And so I don't know. I like sci-fi stuff. Don't get me wrong. I like techie stuff, so it's exciting, but I'm not really worried about it. Only because I got other issues to worry about than aliens right now. I guess the last thing I'm worried about is aliens, because sheesh. Um, I don't know. I guess I don't know. I guess we'll see how the rest of the community treats the aliens. I guess my best advice is if y'all coming down here, if you get this message before y'all get down here, I'm just gonna say this: um, be safe, lock your doors, keep your kids close. Um, there's a lot of weirdos here on planet Earth. Okay, try not to trust nobody, y'all, when y'all get here on planet Earth. A lot of these humans out here are not trustworthy. So, um, whenever you guys arrive, they said between November and December. All I can say is, sheesh. Nice to meet you. What else can I say or do? Um, I don't know. Maybe it's not real. I don't know. Maybe I'm just, I don't know, being weird today. Anyway, let me get back to reality, I guess. Yeah, I guess we'll see. Only time can tell. We'll find out. Like I said, they've said that aliens have visited Earth plenty of times before. So I don't see what the big hysteria is unless the people that are scared have done something that we don't know about, and that's the only thing I can say. So if they're coming hostile because that's what they believe, maybe that's what they sent them a message. I have no clue. And that goes back into being a Black American on planet Earth is to the aliens. To the aliens that are coming from outer space. We ain't got no power here, and I try to tell that to the other communities that are here. Um, I guess the other people of human beings, they didn't hear that either. They don't get that either. So I'm just gonna reiterate to you guys that when you guys get here, many of the Black people here, we really don't even have any power to even. This is the most power we got is our voice. So, uh, and that's not even respected. So yeah, uh, that's my video. So that's my 15 minutes. Check me on my next video. I'm about to talk about some other things like anime and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm just gonna enjoy whatever time is left, I guess, on Earth. So at least try to. How was a blimp out today? Cool. All right, check it out. Checking out for the day, at least on this topic.